Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will understand the layout of Jupyter Notebook. You guys would have learned how to open a new notebook in the previous lecture. So, using the same notebook I created in the previous lecture, let us have a look at the user interface and understand a few shortcuts and other features of this notebook. But before we learn about all that, let us first have a look at the heading of this new notebook. You will notice the heading is currently untitled. For us to be able to change this name, let us click on this untitled. A new window will pop up. Over here, we can change the name to whatever we like. I'm going to change the name to this notebook as Understanding Jupyter. Now, right below the heading, you will have a menu bar. Here, we will have options for actions, the cells, and the kernel present. In the coming lecture, we will learn about the shortcuts in Jupyter Notebook. In case you have any doubts for those shortcuts, you can always click on Help and choose Keyboard Shortcuts. Below our menu bar, we have a toolbar. This contains most of the common actions we are going to be using throughout this course. You can always hover over each button to identify what each button does. Now, in the same line as a menu bar, near the kernel present, you will identify what mode we are currently in. There are two types of modes which are present, the edit mode and the command mode. The edit mode can be identified by a pencil present in this region. Let us now activate the edit mode. To activate it, I can either press enter or I can click on the cell. As you can notice, the edit mode is indicated by a pencil. Now, how do I switch from an edit mode to a command mode? To do this, I simply have to press the escape key present in our keyboards. If you notice, the pencil will now vanish. You can only use the shortcuts in the command mode. Now the pencil is not the only way for us to identify between edit and command. There is another method by which we can do this. We will be using the border present around a cell. In command mode, our border will be in blue color. In edit mode, the same border will turn to green. Let us learn a bit more about these cells. There are two types of cells, Markdown and Code. To change between Code and Markdown, we will select the cell and then in our toolbar select the drop down button. Here we can choose either a Code or Markdown. In Markdown, there is a category called Headers. Let us first have a look into this and then learn a bit more about Code and what Markdown does. Headers are used when we want to indicate what we are going to do or a title of what a program is going to be about. To create a header, we shall first convert the cell to Markdown. To convert it to Markdown, I'm going to select the cell, go to the drop down box and select Markdown. Now we will be using hashtag. Before that, we have to enter the edit mode and to enter the hashtag, which is Shift 3. Depending upon the number of hashtags present, the heading level will vary. You can see some examples on your screen. You can see that there is a difference between the first heading and the second. Now, let us learn a bit more about Markdown. Markdown is used when we want to type a text which is not to be executed or run by the program. How will we understand or identify a markdown? 1. You will not have an I and square brackets present over here. Second, when you run this, you will not get an output, but you will simply get an empty cell or a marked cell where a simple text box or text will be present. Thank you guys. See you in the next lecture.